Coming to you live from the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live on the Fight Mixer Show.
All right.
Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, it was really nice.
I'm here with movie producer, actor, fight manager extraordinaire, Mr. Don Clovis. How you doing today?
I am very, very, very well. I get older, but I still feel good, and that's it. Sport keep you young, eh?
Absolutely. So my first question right off the bat is, as a movie producer, as an actor, having a very successful career, how'd you get involved in mixed martial arts as a manager?
Oh, man, you need 3 hours, eh? You will need 3 hours. In first, I was in rock and roll music in the 60s in France. And I'm being invited in Holland. And when I come in Holland, I was in music business. And through the music business, I meet some friends. And the one had a gym. And he said to me, come to my gym. I said, what are you doing? Kickboxing. I said, what is this? It was about 1975, something like that. And I come to the gym. And I say, oh, no, this is nothing for me. But after I practiced 2-3 times, I like it. And I was in the same gym for about 35 years in Amsterdam.
Wow.
Rick van der Vatter's gym, I was there. So after that, I was the only one speaking French fluently because I'm French born, and English and Dutch. So some Japanese guys, they come to practice in our dojo in Amsterdam. And after that, they have no place to sleep. They come to sleep 6 months in my house, twice. And after that, to thank you, they invite me later in Japan. So I come in Japan, and I come in the sport of Daido Jugu first. And from there, it kept rolling. After that, many fighters was asking me, can you be my manager and that, And I meet also a lot of famous fighters, and beginner fighters. And this is the way I become from the music business to the fighting business. And I'm very proud that I managed all the years, maybe the biggest fighter in the world. In kickboxing, like legend, like Ramon Dekkers, hélas, he's passed away. Rob Kaman, Perry Ubeda, Ryan Simpson. After that, I become from kickboxing to Pancrase, And then I become the manager as well of Bas Rutten, Sammy Shield, Ton Sterling. We had a great Dutch team to go to Japan. And I meet Mr. Ozaki. And, I make short, because otherwise I told you it takes 3 hours. So from this, I was in the sport and I make my names and my guys. It was the particular stuff. It was that all the fighters I have from France, from Japan, from Holland, they stay with me for 10 or 15 years sometime, but we don't have any contract together. I was checking hands. I tell, listen, you fight, you get 80%. I do the rest of the business. I take 20%. And that was it. And never we had any trouble in 20 years, 25 years, So this is the way, this is the part I started in the kickboxing. About the Pancrase, in fact, Pancrase is something I didn't know. Also, Bas Rutten don't know that. The first time I remember we go there, because in that time fighters, they don't fight for the big money. We fight for the glory, to progress. to find things. So what happened is that with Basriton, I never forget, we come there and Basriton get about $15,000 or $2,000 maximum for fight. For a fight you won in few seconds, the first one, I think it was Fouquet, I'm not sure about that, of Yuchi, but Mr. Ozaki and all the team, Masa Funaki as well, they was very, very impressed, but I have to say that since we stopped with the old Pancrase in Japan, I tried to find a new Basriton, like in kickboxing, I tried to find a new Ramon Decker or Rakaman. I don't find them. I see a lot of good fighters, but they don't have the same charisma and the technique that Basriton had, and all the other fighters, the legend like Rakaman, it was like that. So, in fact, in many years when we set up, when we've been with Pancrase in Japan with Ozaki, we've been there so many times. And we've been surprised, Baz and I, that sometimes we go Tokyo Dome, but also big hall from about 60,000 people, 50,000 people, and, and that's it. But it was a very nice, very great time anyway, so this is the part of this, and yeah. But, don't forget that the people like Guy Mesger, because we had American team, we had Australian team, French team, not much, but the Dutch were the strongest. But look over the world. I managed all the biggest fighter in the world in that time, in the 80s and 90s, and yeah, it was great. So right now is different time. But in the time of Pancrase, I have to say that it was, we've been all family, Yakuza in this picture. After the fights, for example, Bas fought against Ken Shamrock or Frank Shamrock. After the fight, we go in the city, and we go on discotheque, we go to restaurant, we are friends again, that was Pancrase, this is Funaki. So from Dan, Basriton, after his career, he decided to go to America, and then he been in UFC. I'm very proud about that. Mm-hmm. And this is a picture with the former boss of K1, because I set up the K1 in Japan in 1990 with Mr. Ishii. We was talking about the K1 at that time, but he want to make KKK, just a new organization. I say, no, it's Ku Klux Klan. It's not possible. So after that, he changed, he put K1. K1 is very famous. But for me, all my career, what I did in kickboxing, Thai boxing, anything, for me, the number one was Pancrase. Always been, and still. So that's it. But the movie business is something very strange, because I've been in Cannes sometime as visitors, and my first American movie was in LA, downtown. And what happened is I meet some guy in the plane. He wants to change the place in the plane from Amsterdam to Film Festival in Cannes. So he changed the place, he comes sitting there, close me. And he said to me, I look his paper. He was looking some paper. I say, are you a movie? He said, yes. And we talk and give my card. I say, I'm martial arts business and all this stuff. And that's it, just like that. But a few months later, he called me from LA. He said, listen, you are managing a lot of fighters. Can you do something for us? I said, what? He said, now maybe we need some fighters, so big name, and for a movie, and you can be a part of associate producer and this kind of stuff. So I say, okay. So I belong to LA. And there I did about 80% of the cast, So I take Remy Borski. He was a kickboxing world champion at that time. I call a friend, Don Fry. He was in there. Rudy Paper come there. Funaki from Japan with Nishi. So I ask all my friends to come in the movie. So we make the movie Honor. And from that time, it's about 12 years now. I'm still busy in the fighting. I mean, in films and a lot of fighting, some action films, martial arts, all this stuff. And right now I'm working, for example, Killing the Seeds and Jesse. And the one Killing the Seas, the director is David Worth. The director he make kickboxer. Blood sport, kickboxer, all this stuff. So, everything keep going. So from music, I jumped to the fighting stuff. Now I'm still in fighting, of course, because, our friend Eric Neyerhuis, in LA. Mm-hmm. We start a new organization called Her King Multimedia LLC. And we try to get the old Pancrase back, something like that. It not will be the same. We are busy to deal with the new Pancrase, the new owner, Mr. Sakai, because they take over the old Pancrase, the logo and everything. So we are busy to get to see if you can get the rights and everything, and to start something like that. But for sure, I am busy now for all Europe, Germany, France, Holland. We go organize all over the world for kickboxing, Thai boxing, MMA, a lot of things. But first, Pancrase style. For sure we do it, and if I can get Bas written somewhere, I will do, because Bas is still he's like my son, it's a big brother, and the other guy as well, but I'm very close to Bas written, always been for 30 years now, Yeah. When he was in Holland, sometime we go somewhere, I go to his home to sleep with his parents. We love French fries and mussels, he like that, So Bas and I, we've been always very, very close. But what in America, a lot of people don't know is that in Europe, we had big champions. I was in the MGM Arena. I saw in Las Vegas with Cameron was there. Our friend Don Dragon Wilson will come to visit us. And Perry Ubeda fought in MGM Arena in 2006 or 2007 against Sakmon Cole from Thailand. And there was in MGM the hall. But, in the morning, that all the fighters, they have a doctor control and everything. And what happened, I was sitting there. Perry Ubeda, my fighter, he was sitting on my right. On the left, there was a black guy there. I say, oh, he's looking sharp and everything. It was Mayweather. I don't recognize it. So I meet them the next time. So, it was very nice talk. So what happened, the next evening, my fighter, Perry Ubeda, has to fight in the MGM. And we saw the trainer, the coach and the trainer from Mayweather. He come to us. He say, can I put the glove on your fighter? Can I make it? I say, yeah, of course. So this is the way we meet.
That's great.
So, it's difficult for me to say what I do and everything, because I never did for the money. I always do by passion. Right now, I talk with you, my passion is coming out, again, that's why I can talk for hours, But, But the things is, all the fighter I had before, my own fighter or the other fighter I knew, or they know me, is a lot of respect. Right. When it's my birthday, I cannot answer everybody. It's so many people, the Rob Kaman, Bas, I call him his birthday, he call me, we're still very close, like Guy Mesger, Frank Shamrock, Jason DeLucia, right. And, this kind of people, then we are very, very close, because before, fighters were a family.
Yeah.
It's not like now. Now they fight. Now, before, when my fighter of Bas has to fight, he say, against who? But now, if you have some fighter to fight, they say just, how much is the money? And after they ask who is the opponent. It's different time. So I told you, I never see a fighter like Rob Kaman, a second Rob Kaman or Bas Rutten, a new one, because Bas, what his specialty was, he was very good on ground and also stand-up fighting. And he was very, very good. And he's a legend. A lot of people ask me and Bas sometimes, when you fought, you could see a big R on his hand.
Yeah.
You remember? Okay, people don't know what it is. Now I can't explain to you. Bas has a big asthma. Asthma, the sickness. asthma. And and when I coach him, I always have this little bottle, in my pocket, and he always say, if I'm not good, please give me something. So, but he never used it. He never knew it was really strong. So when he was under the opponent in the ring, he won't go out very fast, very quick, But it costs you energy. So once I said to him, and he said, so don't go so fast. When you are under, you just sting like that, and he was thinking about this. Yeah. So the R, it means relax. So when he fought, he was under. Then when he sees R, he say, okay. The guy on the top, he say, go ahead, on submission, everything you want, but I wait. So that was the trick of Bas as well, because so he keep his energy, Right. But he was very, very, very strong, very strong fighters.
And Don,
fighter. And, I hope you understand my English.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I just wanted to interject how important the Dutch and the European fighters and the fight scene was. Not just Bas Rutten, but Sammy Schilt, like you mentioned, who you managed. He trained with Golden Glory Holland, who trained with Alistair Overeem, who became one of the greatest UFC heavyweights and Pride heavyweights of all time. Ernesto Hoost, who I saw in a picture with you.
Yeah.
One of the biggest K1 fighters ever, one of the biggest legends. Jerome Le Banner, another huge legend.
The French.
And yes,
from
absolutely.
Bretagne.
Yes, sir. Yeah. But Don, my question is, because obviously you grew up and as a manager, you were managing during a time where it was all about respect, where you could do a handshake agreement. How was it dealing with Pancrase management, especially getting Bas that next great fight? Especially after his wars and his legendary bouts with like Funaki and Osami and the Shamrock brothers. What was it like negotiating his next big payday and his next big fight?
Yeah, Pancrase is like that. When we had a contract in the beginning, we have a contract for 4 or 5 fights. Okay, so the first fight, for example, was for example $2,000. And then the next one, I have to negotiate because I did it. I tried to get 3,000. That was difficult, but I say, listen, the first fight, Bas won very quick, and you will see the next one. So step by step, we go from 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, and then it was going up, And I remember when on the last year, Bas, he got about 150,000 at that time, 115, It was not. It was not 1.5 million like they have in USA now, Right. And don't forget, in that time we don't have the multimedia as now, the Skype, Facebook, everything, Mm-hmm. So it was different time. So you have to negotiate very hard because the Japanese people are nice people, but they are very hard in dealing, Yeah. And I remember also with Mr. Ishii for the K1 when we decide the price. For Rock Command, I got Champur, the first K1 in Japan. He signed a contract with me, and I have to sign that I don't talk to anybody for 2 years about the price he gave us, Rock Command and I, to fight, because the other fighter get less. But Command was an exception. At that time, was not too much money for now, but in that time was good money, Right. So. Yeah, you have to negotiate there. I remember for the K1, for example, that Ishii is to a restaurant, and I say, "Oh, French restaurant." He say, "Yeah, because you are French." I say, "Oh, okay, but there's nobody." He said, "No, I hired the restaurant for us 3 to discuss about the contract and about the K1." This is the way he did. This is Mr. Ishii. Mr. Ozaki from Pancrase, he was always with Mr. Oitate, his assistant, and there was a whole team, and the owner was Mr. Ozaki with in fact, was Funaki and Suzuki. They were the stars from Pancrase at that time, and so I had to negotiate always with Mr. Funaki anyway, Ozaki, sorry. And sometimes was hard, but it was negotiable, and I'm French, and the French can talking, so right. So it's you have to give and take and give, sometimes it's better to share with people than to try to get everything for yourself than nothing, So I always been like that. And like I say, I never did really for the big money. I did because my fighter, and every time I make a deal, I always go with my fighters first. And the first time I was with, Sam Shield, I was his manager as well. Sam Shield, Bass Return, Tom Stelling. When Bass and Sam, they had they fought, after that I have to take the money to the office of Mr. Ozaki.
Right.
What happened? I take my fighters with me, and we go to Mr. Ozaki. He say, "Oh no, Don Clovis, Mr. Clovis, you are the manager, only the manager." I said, "Listen, I have no secret for my fighters." So he give me the money. I send my fighter here and there, and that's it. And this is the way I still do it. I still do, just like that, So they was very surprised. Yes, then because many managers also in Europe. I don't tell, but many managers say, they sign contract for 50,000, for example, and they give 30,000 on the fighters, and it's a lot times happen, and it still happen right now. I'm sure about it, So that that's life, but everybody have his own. I have my own physiology. Sorry, and it's just respect the other people, and you have to work with them. So that's it.
Yeah, and that's how deals get done. I think the biggest problem with United States mixed martial arts and modern day mixed martial arts is it's very hard for people, because now mixed martial arts has money invested in it. Now it's on ESPN. It's streamed all over. There's a lot more money than it was back in the day. So it's a hat trick, and it speaks about you as a manager and your talent, that you're able to get big money deals happening just on a handshake, just by doing good business and just being a good businessman. Because back then there wasn't a lot of money invested in it, especially with Pancrase nowadays. I mean, that speaks volumes about you as a manager.
The time are changing. Right now, I will sign a contract with fighters. I never did before, but now I will do, because it's not because I don't trust the fighters, but I don't trust the people behind. Also the organization. When I managed to Chicago, from USA.
Yeah.
And when I have Chicago, I was in that time with some friends of mine. We go in the Red Rock Hotel in Las Vegas, and I want to meet Dana White to propose Chicago. But Dana White was busy with a woman at that time. He was young and eating and everything. He had no time. So, but a few months later, Chicago was there. I did not know anything about that. It's like my fighter Rob Kaman. He was in. I present Rob Kaman to Jean-Claude Van Damme, and a few months later, he was in his movie for 3D4 movie. This is the. How I can say that. What is really important in this kind of business is your connections and your honesty. Be honest with people, and that's why I did no contract with my fighter. I trust them, and they trust me. It was shaking hand, and that's it. But now it's totally different. I will not doing anymore. I think right now I will sign the contract, but not the strengthening contract, just normal. That they respect you, I respect them, and that's it. The time is so much different now, And this is what also what you talk with the big money. I am for, because now I have to do with it, because it's like that, But I think I have enough connection to have a great. I start with big factor again, and I think that soon you will see. I will come back.
I'm making a comeback.
Yeah, for sure,
Nice.
For sure, because I'm on film and on martial. What is good on martial arts? If I have action film, I can use the guys I saw in my movies. And the most difficult is to find investors and good producer, money producers to your movie, because these days with the corona it's very difficult. But this is the most important, is to have a good investor trust you. Like my father trusts me. And I'm go for it because it's my passion. Music is my passion. I was working as a singer, I told you, in the 80s and the 60s. And also martial arts and films, and what do you want more?
Absolutely. So Don, you worked, obviously. I saw pictures of you with Ron Howard. You worked with Bas Rutten, Jean-Claude Van Damme, actors, fighters, musicians. Who would you say is the easiest to do business with from a business standpoint?
Personally, or fighters versus actors? What are you asking?
Fighters versus actors.
The problem is I like both. I love both. I can't. I was dealing in petroleum business also between some time in the banking business. I can jump from the one to the other one. We can talk about fighting. We can talk about movie, and I'm there. And just ask me, and I will do it. I think I both of them. I love movie, of course, because movie is also on the door. Something different. But also, you are fighters. They are retired now, but you can use them in films. Not that fighters are good actors. No. One I know very well is Bas again. Sorry, it's Bas. Because Bas, if you see the movie Here Comes the Bomb with Kevin James, is wonderful. Bas, fighter, actor, model, he's always been a nature talent. That's why I love him like that. It's true. That what people don't know, when he still have hair, he was a photo model. He was model in Holland. He starts his life as model. So to conclude, I think that fighting business and fighters negotiation and films, for me, it's just my work. Some people sometimes say, yeah, you do this, you do that, you are wonderful. I say, listen, I am manager. I did my job. But if I don't have the right fighters, I will not be a good manager, because, you have to choose your fighters. You have to choose, when I choose a fighter, I choose not only because he's a good fighter, no, because he's also a friend, and you can feel it. When you feel it, see the charisma of Bas Rutten, for example, is everybody love him, so, each fighter has his own charisma, but Bas is for me, and because of Pancrase, he and me, we become very, very famous. It was a start for both of us, all over the world, and that's it, opened the door, And by the way, Don is a nickname of mine, because Don is given to me from Paco Rabanne, the perfume. Yeah. So this is a point I tell you, because many people ask me all the time. So that's why I ask you, So I can tell you the story how come, but maybe it's take too long. Yeah? I don't know what time we still have it.
I'd like to ask you at least two more questions, if you don't mind, Don. If you're not too busy, I'd love to ask you two more questions about the Pancrase documentary and your favorite memories with Pancrase.
Yes. I think young people maybe don't know Pancrase really, because Pancrase was more in Japan, We developed it a bit in France and everything, to make, when Pancrase was totally unknown. So what I did, when Bas or Semi Shield of other fighters, my fighter fight in the ring in Japan, you can see me on the corner sometime. I have a photo camera. So what they fight, I say they left, did that, but I make picture about that. When they fight and we go back to Europe, I make each picture, I make 6-7 times the same picture. I make a report of the fight and everything. And I send it for free to the huge magazine in France, like Karate Bushido and other magazine like that, and in Germany, in Holland. So because they get for free, they push, because nobody knew that, So this is the way I started to try to develop Pancrase on my way. Because I never fight. I practice. I still practice 40 years Thai boxing, but I never fight in the ring myself. But it was my marketing way to do it, without internet, without in that time, internet was just a little bit, that's it. But this is the way I develop Pancrase and talk everywhere about that. And and my best presentation was Bas. Of course, semi-shield as well, but I talk a lot about Bas Rutten and semi-shield because I manage them, but in Europe. In America, we were friends, but they have their own management, but I keep a lot of friends. So Maurice Smith, from America, he was doing Pancrase as well, and many people don't know that. And the new generation now in America or all over the world, not many people know about Pancrase because Pancrase right now is still doing in Japan.
Right.
And they always been doing, and that's it. And I think this is something wrong. They should to develop everywhere. And I am for it. If they ask me, I will do. No problem for me, So with our friend Guy Mesger and Bas and Eric Neyhouse, we go that way. We are busy for it, and to set up a lot of events all over the world, step by step.
Awesome. So I'll ask you one more question because I don't want to take too much of your time, and I do appreciate you coming on.
I am here for you.
So, if there's one takeaway from the new documentary that's coming out, what do you wish that American audiences will take from this documentary? And as the MMA audience, who all they know is UFC and Bellator and maybe a couple of different other promotions. What is the one takeaway you wish viewers of this documentary will take away from this this presentation of Pancrase and how great it was when you were managing Bas Rutten?
Yeah, at first, I think that Pancrase, like before, it was a family, like I told you, and the technique of Pancrase was so different than now because don't forget that Pancrase was no glove.
Yeah.
And the chain protection, the chain stuff, the chain pad, it was very small, but it was more for the show on TV, because they don't allow to do without. So what happened that the technique, the how can I say that? It's difficult to explain, in fact, but Pancrase is a complete job. It's grappling, wrestling, kickboxing, Thai boxing, boxing also, but without glove. Because you do with the power of the hand, but this is stronger than the glove, and our specialty of Bas was this, so I would say to the young people, watch some fights of Pancrase. And what I think is it's not so much blood than many other fighting organizations, because the problem we have in Europe, for example, our governments, they want to block, they want to not they want to stop, in fact, the kind of like UFC of when it's no blood. This is the problem we have. I love UFC, I love Bellator, I know Scott Cooker as well, and but what the audience for the kids on TV in Europe is some critics, because sometimes we see a lot of blood, and this is what our government they think about it,
Right.
But for the young people, for Pancrase, I think they have to watch something well. In the documentary, we will show, I think, video from Bas and Guy Mesger and the Shamrock brothers, and the style. But I'm not sure that if we could do the same, without glove, with this, we'd be very good, But like I say, the government, you never know how they want to react of this,
Right. And with this documentary, it features all of the greats like Bas Rutten, Guy Mesner, Josh Barnett, all of the greats, Chris Lytle, and to know that you were behind the scenes navigating some of the greats' careers. You're a part of that elite group that helped build the sport to where it is today.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, I wanted. Yeah. Sure, I wanted, because many people in Europe or in Japan, they don't know American. American, you have a lot. You see always the same fighters, but there are a lot of fighters nobody know, but they are very talented. They are very, very, very strong. And I am busy with the French team already, in France, and some guys in Holland, also Croatia, Germany, I'm busy to set a team already, So now we will set up team also in America, and I hope to get some European to go to America to fight, and American to come to Europe and Japan to fight, and to try to develop again the old style from Pancrase, and sure, I will be 500% behind that, for sure.
Absolutely. And Don, I thank you so much for your time and joining us. If you have anything to plug, any upcoming movie projects besides the Pancrase documentary, and the floor is yours. I thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you. I will let you know, and also go to my website.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, joytofilms.com. But I have also donclovis.com, but I have to upgrade, all this stuff, But that when you see Bass on YouTube, maybe you see about me, and when you go to Bass, you see me as well. So this is family, and I really hope that you will be involved again like that, with something.
Absolutely. Don, I really do appreciate you coming on, and of course dropping some knowledge and sharing your journey with us. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Don.
You're welcome. I can talk for 3 hours more, but I keep for next time.
We'll have you back on.
Please,
okay.
come back on.
Take care.
Anytime, Don.
And,
anytime.
say hello to,
Bye.
and my greetings to all the fans of your website, and fight mixer.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Don. Have a
You're
good
welcome.
night.
Bye. Hey, thank you. Thanks a lot.
You too. So that was Don. Oh my goodness! Again, one of the legendary managers, who helped navigate, because Japanese was a pretty tricky. That was a pretty tricky time, and I think one of the gentlemen we talked to the other night alluded to how tricky it was navigating the Japanese MMA business climate, where here's a deal, take it or leave it. But here's a gentleman that was able to navigate that and navigate Bas Rutten's career. And where would Bas be with that? He's an amazing talent, but you need a good manager behind you to navigate that career. And Don, again, a part of that elite group that helped build up Pancrase, because he was able to navigate these talented fighters that helped made that promotion what it was. So it's an honor to talk to him. It blew my mind.
Yes, sir. Before we do go, I want to thank again Fight Labs for sponsoring the show. And if you're in need of any supplements, they're the place to go to.
Can't wait.
So
what's on the agenda for Thursday, my man?
Well, let me see here. Let me pop it up. I need to get my glasses. I can't read.
Tom Worthy, Andre Lowell, and Titan FC fighter John Birdsong will be on the good old program on Thursday. We're gonna have Chris Lytle come back. Is that correct?
Well, give me a second here. I think that might be actually 2 weeks out. This
2 weeks out. Okay, perfect. We're gonna have a badass show for 2 weeks in a row. That's crazy. Eric Anders, Isaac Flag, and a gentleman that's going to be fighting in BKFC, bare knuckle fighting. I want to pick his brain, especially about the rules of bare knuckle fighting and making that transition from mixed martial arts to bare knuckle fighting. So, I want to educate.
Alvin Leo Brito.
Yeah, we're going to have Alvin Leon Brito on the podcast. So definitely talk about Eric and Isaac's career in the UFC, and also talk to Ivan, who's going to be fighting in bare knuckle fighting, which I think bare knuckle fighting is also a new concept to people. And I can't wait him and I are going to help educate people about not only his journey, but about how great bare knuckle fighting really is. So I can't wait for that lineup.
I definitely like it. So look forward to getting back on here on Thursday and talking to all these guys.
Who's our guest? So Chris Lytle's coming back?
Yeah, maybe. I know he's coming back on the show, but when, I'm not sure. We're still working that out. So
can't wait to talk to him again.
I'm trying to talk him into coming on Thursday coming up, but he's kind of busy with all the stuff that's going on. So
correct. Absolutely. So from all of us at Fight Mixer, I appreciate you coming on for this special presentation. We had a podcast Thursday, Friday, which was like 4 hours, which I don't mind talking about MMA, so it was no biggin for me. And also Sunday, we talked to the legendary Don, who came on to talk about movies, MMA, but most importantly, this Pancrase documentary, which I'll plug it until it finally comes out. And I can't wait for this documentary to educate folks of how beautiful the Japanese MMA scene was. And it all started with promotions like Pancrase. So thank you very much from all of us at Fight Mixer, our wonderful producer, Matt, and we'll see you on Thursday night.
Peace.
Peace.
Hi, I'm Matt Seibel, producer of the Fight Mixer Show. We have a good lineup of guests coming up next week. Take a look for yourself.
What's going on, fight fans? This is El Bandito of Leon Brito, getting some work done out here on the field. Check out my interview with Fight Mixer on the 23rd. We're going to be talking about my upcoming BKFC fight on the 26th. It's coming up real soon, guys. I will see you there.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Eric Anders, and I can't wait to join all you fight fans on the Fight Mixer podcast.